G'day folks, welcome back to Atlantic War, the fall of Cherbourg scenario. It is the morning, the AM turn on the 21st of June. So I played out through the rest of the 20th of June. And this is the situation. You can see the Americans having great success out in the flanks here. Germans have really focused all their primary defensive efforts around Boulogne. And that has been very successful. This unit here continues to repel these American attacks. They haven't budged an inch from here. This is just a little village here, but yeah, full strength German infantry battalion. And the rest of these guys along the lines here haven't really budged an inch. And yeah, there has been no advance by the Americans in this whole area. A lot of advance on the right though. And the Americans really shattered a lot of the German battalions out here, bulk of whom were already quite reduced. They managed kind of a breakthrough. There are no breakthrough rules here, but basically they punched such a big gap in the German lines that the Germans, in their movement, weren't able to close that gap. And you can see armoured company down here, even the infantry following up. The big coup here is that they've captured the first, I guess, of the default improved positions around Cherbourg. So they're sort of inside that first line of defence. And the Germans just could not rally in time. I brought a lot of that 7th Army troop formation around here. They very rapidly left this defensive line and followed the road down through Cherbourg and out. They've kind of thrown together a line, but this is reduced. This is just a single company. This is headquarters with a decent full strength company. Engineers kind of got left behind and almost destroyed. They had to make a mandatory attack. They've had to kind of, where were they? They were deep in here. I think they had to kind of weave their way through these lines. And yeah, so the Americans shifting down here. Out on the left, the Americans, during the night turn, the Americans made a night move and night combat on a battery out here. They're just trying to clean up. I double checked the victory conditions, and the Americans do have to destroy all these coastal batteries, including this one. There's 2 here, there's 3 here. So it's not just a case of getting into Cherbourg, it's a case of destroying these last remnants of the coastal batteries as well. Losses, I don't know if you can see the losses up in the corner up here. I was a little concerned about American losses, but they haven't suffered much lately. These are build-up units, and the Germans did break down a formation to companies. I think it was here. They can't move on their turn, they break down, but they have suffered a lot of other companies. There are some batteries in here, but the bulk of these are some of those initial companies that were on the map. So starting the AM turn, I've already rolled for weather, and once again, I got heavy storms. So the Americans are a bit frustrated that they won't have their air support yet again. In addition, a lot of their artillery is moving, particularly out in the flanks here. On the left, you can see there's 4 artillery pieces here and 4 more out on the right. They're inactive. I've kept a bit of artillery in the center here, trying to push down, but not having much success. I've noticed also a rule that I've been playing, not necessarily wrong, but just forgetting, because I mentioned in the last video that supply is not much of an issue here. The Americans don't have to check supply, and the Germans don't have too many supply issues because it's such a tight area. They're defending all the way in here, so I had kind of anticipated that the Germans would always be in supply. I didn't anticipate splitting the 7th Army troop units from far left to far right. And there's also 243rd. These guys out here shouldn't be there because their headquarters is way out on the right. So I've been a bit carefree with German supply lines. Something I'm going to be mindful of in future scenarios, but for now, yeah, I will play on without really penalising the Germans for that. There is no 7th Army Troop headquarters, so I don't know what the rules for them are. I assume they just draw supply to any German headquarters. Look, to be honest, I haven't really been thinking much about the headquarters at all. These guys have moved like 1 hex throughout the course of 2 days. In any case, it's now the American turn, and way out here on the left, despite having this disrupted unit, they are going to move up and destroy this coastal battery. It's all but guaranteed. They've got 9 factors. They're in a town now, so that'll push it back a little bit. No, I think that's all but guaranteed on the CRT. And what else am I going to do? I'm trying to keep my armour way out in the open in clear terrain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can see how rapidly they move compared to 12 hexes in clear, compared to what equates to 3 hexes out in bocage or water terrain. Yeah. Battery, artillery can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually 4, 5. These guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really just trying to threaten. Look at this open terrain down here. This is how I'm going to get into Cherbourg. Not through the bocage and wooded country. But I am going to certainly threaten defenders here with just 2 defense strength points, so they'll be attacked. That'll be a nice combat. That's 2 strong. They're pretty strong. So the Germans did have some army here, so I brought my AT down, and then the armour took off to the other side of the map. Now I do need to sort of threaten the Germans around this area. So I think this stack here might be in for a beating if I can. Yeah, I can get a few units. I'd like to maintain some regimental integrity if I can. So these 2 are the most important. 122nd, and these 2 as well can participate. So let's try and knock a bit of a hole down here. Just a reminder of the rule that you can only have 1 battalion attacking out of each hex. So whilst I have the 2nd, 8th here, they couldn't actually join this combat. They can't make their way through here because they have to stop upon entering an enemy zone of control. So they'll just hold the line in the back there. These guys won't move and remove their disruption. Artillery won't move, they won't move and remove their disruption. This is such a familiar story up here. I've got this big stack of armour that can't really do much. Holding the line. I might bring these companies up, so this gives me 24, 25, 26. They will just pull back a little bit. They don't want to be too vulnerable. And if the Germans want to come out and attack that single company, that would be very good, leaving open for longs. Okay, looking out over the right side of the map where things are going pretty well. You can see I've used a few replacements from these headquarters. That's what the numbers mean. It also highlights where the headquarters are for me. Look, this is my focus around this area here. And I really want to do some more damage to these Germans before they can really get their defences together. That's a big stack that is somewhat isolated. Where can we push? Wherever I move these guys, they're going to be in the enemy zone of control. In fact, I think that German, they couldn't have moved there, or they would have had a mandatory attack, so they'd have to pull back one. So, 1, 2. What regiment is this? Let me just double check. Yep, 160th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They can make it nicely. Can I bring any other armour? These guys are wading through the bocage. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 2, 4, 5, 6. Not too worried about my flanks out here. Okay. Big stack there. Isolated. Is that bicycle infantry company here? Yeah. Let's take them on. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Move that batteries down a bit and keep them out of battery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I've got a nice stack here I could attack. 3, 4, 1, 3. Yeah, 347. Okay. Let's try and knock them off. And 4, 8, 12. Some tanks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should give me armor superiority here. It's doubled in bocage, but I should have at least more than 2. And everything else is staying as is. Okay. So that's American movement done. Now onto American combat. Again, no air power. There's this combat way out here on the left. We've got 9 to 1. They're in a village, so their armor is doubled to 2, but I have 7. So that's triple their armor defense. So I have 3 column shifts. That's 9, 10, 11, 12. Easily gives me the best column. And I need to find a red die. A 4 is easy to give me. It's guaranteed. That final column gives you all hits. That's another battery gone. And they can advance. Now there's no combat effects for being disrupted. It's just more a warning that the next step is demoralization, which is bad. And I don't want to attack whilst demoralized. Out of battery, no batteries in range. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yep. So we've just got 15 on 2, no armor. Gives me 7 to 1 odds. 7 to 1 in wooded terrain with a 9 gives me a 1, 1. So that's 1 step loss. That's a reduced, and they'll take the 1 as a retreat. So infantry can move in there. Yep. All right, big attack here now. Here we have 8, 16, 24, 25, 26. No armor, but we have some artillery here. So 26, they're in bocage. So 26, we'll throw both of these guns at it. 26 plus half of 12 is 6. So 32 on 5 is 6 to 1. Regimental integrity, 6 to 1, 7 to 1 in bocage. A 3. 7 to 1 bocage, 3. Oh my goodness. That's the only attacker loss result. So it is a 1, which I'll take as a retreat, and disrupt it. This has just been the story of the American attack in the center here. Just can't get any ground. Everything fails like this. No attacks along here. Next attack is over here where I have 16 on 4. I need some artillery to support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, just out of range. So I can't do anything, but regimental integrity. So it'll be 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 5-1-2. That's not going to be good. That's a 1 mandatory step loss and 1 other, so they will have to retreat to satisfy that. And the big D, they get demoralized. All right, next attack over here. This should be pretty easy. 16, 17 on 2. I have, their armor is doubled to 2, but I have 7, so it's more than 3. So 16 to 2 is 8 to 1, 9 to 1, 10 to 1. Yeah, it's off the charts basically. In Bocage is an 8, which is 2 mandatory step losses. They're gone. Now, as a total step, this satisfies 1. There are 2 more steps to satisfy, but in fact, it doesn't matter because when you advance into Bocage, it counts as 2 steps every year advance. So I have to stop there. I could advance with these guys, but in fact, what I'll do is I'll advance with those guys so they can hold on to that improved position up here. I've got to remember that the Americans can use that improved position as well. Okay, so last attack here, 16, 17, 18, in an improved position, which gives them a column shift. Okay, so we've got 18 to 4 is 4 to 1, but I have armor. They're in the clear in an improved position. So the improved position, I think, doesn't give them any type of armor benefit. It's just the column shift, which means that my armor is huge. I've got 7, 14. That's the maximum of 4 to 1 at least. So this goes up 4 to 1, 8 to 1. Do I have regimental integrity? I think I do. 9 to 1. Shift back because of the improved position to 8 to 1 in the clear is a 9. That gives me 2 mandatory steps. They're eliminated. And they can advance like so. And that is the end of the American turn. So again, kind of familiar story. Successes out here on this flank. Failures in the middle. I'm sure air support would really help here. Nonetheless, it flips around to the German turn now. They need to respond and well, they've got to defend this clear terrain. How do we do it? All right. It's just too dangerous to defend out here in the open. Although the Americans don't have much left now. Maybe now's the time to make a stand. They're running out of units. Their lines are so stretched as well. Germans are facing kind of a critical decision point. Do they withdraw? Do they pull everything back from the centre and protect these flanks? The defence has been so good out here. They have not budged an inch along this front line here. But if they don't move, we're going to lose Cherbourg. Crikey. All right, let's set up our battery. Let me do this last. I really think we've got to get some more of these 7th Armoured. So here we go. This infantry is going to strategic move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. I'm going to have to pull away from here, I think. What else have I got? I can bring a company out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got 91st Division. These 243rd guys shouldn't be here. They should be over off on the right. So the more we pull back, the tighter our lines get, the more I can free up some units. Germans just keep losing so much. That's what's going to really hurt them. They've held the line, but they're actually the losses on the flanks. And their increasing inability to fill gaps. So I'm going to have to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. These guys are going to get back on the road and get out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Basically, it costs 2. These have 6 movement points, and it costs 2 movement points per hex. So 3 hexes for most of these units. The artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They don't want to be caught out there. They need an out of battery marker. 1, 2. Yeah, really pulling back. I've kind of made the decision with that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Shift them down. Shift them down because there's a bit of a gap through here. They'll hold. Pull back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And that might be a good place for the battery right here. So they will hold. They can hold there as well. These guys in Cherbourg can hold and begin to set up into battery. They can't fire yet this turn. They should be at full ammo. These are coastal batteries, they can't move. We've got some armour out here. Okay, I can pull the lines in a bit. One, two. They could hold there. I could send the armour up to here, but then I risk losing that armour. I could send the AT, but then I've got this big gap here. This is where I'm in trouble. I may have to abandon these entrenchments. They're gone. 1, 2, 3 to disengage, half the movement. 4, 5 to there. They'll just pull back a bit, and then I can get the armour into the entrenchments there. From what I read, I'm pretty sure armour benefits from those entrenchments. And that's it. So the Germans have once again plugged the gap, but they've had to pull back. I guess that's the strategy. Keep pulling back. I was checking some images this morning about the historical German, the American advance and German withdrawal, and what are we on? 21st? I don't know, it's hard to say, I can't remember the lines. I think what the Americans were around here by the 22nd, 23rd. So this is the line here on the 23rd. So, if they want to keep to historical schedule, they've got, 24, 48 hours to push in. Okay, so that's the German withdrawal. They don't want to fight anywhere. So that's the end of their turn. And I can advance the game turn track. Thanks, Bearcat, sorry. You had to take everything down for a couple of days, but everything's back up again. All right. We are now at the midday turn on the 21st of June. Americans back on the attack, and yeah, look, I'm going to rest these guys so I can remove their. Now, what am I doing? Let's keep the pressure on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep my armour there to consider where they're going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll remove their armour, their disruption. These guys can come up. Batteries here need to get closer to Cherbourg. All right, now we're looking to attack around here. Look at this isolated AT. They're in trouble. 1, 2, 10 to 1 should finish them off. The engineers will just take their place in the line. some AT. We'll just advance and threaten that position there. Nice strong company here, and I can get no regimental integrity, but 16, 17, 18, 19 on 8. That's not going to be near enough to do any damage. What I want to do is bring them down to the south here to kind of get into this open terrain. And get that armour out of there. 4, 8, 12, 4, 8. Now they're on a road. 9, 10, 11. I'll stop there with engineers. These guys won't move and will recover their disruption. All right, so now this frees up a lot of troops around here. We'll just move in, keep that company there. Now, what's the best place to strike? That's a massive stack. That's going to be tough, but only 5. So he's 315th Regiment. Maybe they'll hit the outskirts of town. They can't reach anyway. So we'll just move in a little bit. 3, 1, 2, 3. And we're at 313th. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. They'll bring their armour down. Artillery still in range. So they could hit the town. They can hit the town. What do we got here? This is also 313. 1, 2. So I'll keep this regiment together here. What I'm thinking about doing is just, I've seen some people colouring the edge of their counters. So this regiment here could be all yellow, for example. They could be all red, just to clearly, because this is pretty small font on these counters. All right, now we've got a different regiment here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Some, no, that's an armour. It's a recon unit. 1, 2, 3. Artillery he can still reach. 1, 2, 3. They are going to rest. They are going to rest. So it's going to take them 2 turns to recover that demoralisation. 1, 2. No combat anywhere along here. Just kind of getting closer to the Germans. And then this is where all the fun is. I've got to think about where to hit. That's a strength of 8. That's a strength of 6. That's a strength of 7. They're only 3, and they're stuck behind the lines. They didn't move last turn, but there's not many places they can move to. They are at least forcing the Americans to be careful, because they can very easily hit at this artillery if the Americans aren't careful. Look, it may be worth dedicating some units to finishing them off. I'm just going to get that battery out of the way. And what else can I do? Not really in a position to do a great deal. Isolated armour or coastal batteries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just out of range. These guys aren't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scare the Germans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think there's going to be any combat taking place around here this turn. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Yeah, they have to say that. Look, these guys kind of. It was nice to kind of pocket them behind the lines, but now they're becoming a bit of a problem. So where's the combat? This is one combat over here against this artillery. 10 to 1, no armor, in bocage, no artillery. 7 is one step loss. So you get one German AT company and one retreat, and they will advance to keep the pressure on. No combat around here, nothing happening, not much happening. So pretty quiet turn, very quiet turn for the Americans, just responding to that German retreat. It's amazing how quickly the Germans can plug these gaps and fill these lines. All right, that brings us to the German turn now. And I think they've got a bit of a break here. They are down here in Saint-Pierre-Église. Good, strong 8 engineers here. 1, 2, I'm worried about these guys, but they're a big stack of 8. 1, 2, oh, they're a very weak company. What can we do here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm getting into trouble. 1, 2. Trying to, I guess the straighter my lines, the fewer units I need. Do I have to give up? No, I don't have to give up any hexes yet. But I am going to move that battery out of the way. They're going to pull back into the town. Battery's pulling back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Freeze up that. All right, so I've got this company here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can pull into Cherbourg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can pull into Cherbourg. We can. That battery's got a range of 10. They can defend that whole area. These batteries, they should also be at full strength, full ammo rather. They might just pull back a little bit further. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out here, can I get the engineers back into Cherbourg? I know I could threaten that, but there's a nice stack there. 9 strength points. That's a lot to leave behind when I'm so desperate for. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll try and get around the edge if I can. I know the Americans are going to have to attack that. Look, that's looking all right. As far as desperate German defences go, it's not too shabby. All right. So, no German combat. This has been a really quiet turn, which brings us to the end of the turn. And advance the turn track to the PM turn. So it's the afternoon on the 21st of June. Back to the Americans. Just checking sequence of play. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. All right, Americans, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? This unit not yet ready to strike on Saint-Pierre-Église, so they're going to rest and recover the disruption, let their armoured units catch up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'll be joined by armour. They're both the 12th Regiment, so these guys can attack on the next turn with regimental integrity. This battery here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 8, sorry. 12. 4, 8, 12. Actually, they can use the road just to go into there. 12th Regiment. This is this regiment down here, so they're a bit out of place. 2, 4, 6. Okay, let's think about the situation here. Got my infantry up. Germans have really weakened their defence of Valence. I think these guys have recovered. They're all going to have regimental integrity. The artillery is ready. All this artillery here is in range. Surely I can get some decent attacks off. So let's throw the entire 315th Regiment at this. Now they're in a town, and that's going to triple their armour to 12. And I reckon I can exceed that if I throw all my armour at it. So that'll give me 7, and 7 is 14, which is greater than, will give me 1 column shift. Yeah, that'll do. Then I can bring 22nd Regiment. We'll bring these guys in, 2, 4, and 2, 4, 6 to attack the other hex of the town. And we'll get the 8th Regiment to move up just to threaten the Germans in there. Alright, we might finally be able to break into Valence. What else we got? Now we've got 313th Regiment around here. And they could strike here. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they could draw upon some artillery support. It'd be really pushing my artillery, but I think do I do it or wait? Look, let's do it, because if they get a big hit, yeah, let's do it. Yep. How do I do it? 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Okay. And then we'll just close the gap, move some of this 39th Regiment up. And this is also 39th. Now. Got to do something out here on the right. I have this advantage and I think I've lost it. Just kind of momentum stalled. Defensive 6, defensive 5, defensive 7. So here's a good place to strike. But these guys are still disrupted. And they're not the same regiment. So they will rest to recover again. I'll bring the armour around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, out to the open terrain again. Different regiments. 314th. Is it worth bringing them up to attack? That's going to be a 7. That's going to be tough. Artillery's still not ready. They'll start to get ready. And in fact, they are ready because they haven't moved. So they're now in battery. If I throw everything at this, they're in blockage though, so they only give me 7 extra factors. That's a lot. I'm going to need at least 28. 314, I could do that. Right, let's try this. 1, 2, 3. Moving in. I'm not bringing my armour because I don't think they're going to do anything. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll bring the armour back so it's not quite exposed. Now I've got these bloody big stack of engineers behind the line, which is kind of deterring me from advancing here. What I can do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is detach this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to deal with that coastal battery. I kind of want, I'm almost inclined to let the Germans through just so they're not sort of threatening my rear. We'll grab that improved position. down there. All right, that's movement. Now combat. Big attacks on Vallones. Okay, let's start off with the furthest unit, just so I can make sure my artillery reaches. I've got 24, 25, 26. No armor. 26, and I'll throw both of these at it, which will be, it's a town, which means artillery will be halved. So I get 6. So 26, 32 on 8 is 4 to 1. Regimental integrity gives me 5 to 1. That's it. 5 to 1 in a town. A 6. I'm already worried. 5 to 1 in a town. Hey, it's a hit. 1 hit. And 1 other step. They can take a step loss, or they can retreat. They'll retreat. And they will advance. All right, we finally captured part of Valence. All right, next attack. Similar attack. We've got 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. These are halved, of course, 30. I have, so 30 on, I just need 2 more, would have been good. 30 on 8 is just 3 to 1. But regiment integrity is 4 to 1. 4 to 1 in a town. A 5. Hey, it's a 1D. So they do have to retreat, and they have to retreat into enemy zone of control, so they suffer a step loss. What were they? That was just an infantry company, wasn't it? This is the problem with these counters. You saw that flip over. Because they're completely different units. It's an infantry company on one side, an armor company on the other. Now, there was also a D result there, so these guys are all disrupted, but pretty happy because they've forced the Germans back. And they'll stay there. Combat over here. This is a little bit riskier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. So they can reach with both of those batteries, adding 6 to combat. They're in the wood, so it's halved. I've got 24, 25, 26 on 5. So it's 5 to 1. No, sorry, 26 plus 6 is 32. So 6 to 1. Regimental integrity is 7 to 1. 7 to 1 in the woods. 9 is 1 mandatory step. Take the AT off, and 1 retreat, and an advance. Looking okay. I forgot that the Germans also had regimental integrity on the defense here, so they should have got a column shift. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I don't think it would have been much different. I'll return to this in a moment, but I'll do this quick attack out here. It's going to be the maximum 6, which is a step loss, and 2 advances. They'll stay there. And last attack here, 16 plus, it's halved, so half of 14 is 7. So, sorry, 24 plus 7 is 31 on 7, which is 4 to 1 odds. No armor. Yeah, 4 to 1 in Bocage, 8. 4 to 1 Bocage, 8. Oh, it's an American loss. So 1 step, they have to retreat. And 4 to 1, 8. Oh crap, it's a big D result, which is demoralization. It's just at the worst of times. Look, this is just 4 to 1 Bocage. There's not many. 3 results on that table give me those results. Well, only 1 gives me 2 results give me demoralization, and I had to roll one of them. All right. So, German response. Okay, is it time? I keep asking myself, is it time to really pull back to these defences? But look, they're losing a lot of units, but they're slowing the Americans down, and time is a key factor here. They've got to, they've got to wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more days. It's a long wait. All right, let's see what they can do. They are going to hold the line. Hold here, hold here. I mean, I'm aware the Americans 3, 4, 5, 6 can get around, but let's force them to do that. Hold here, pull back and strengthen that position a little bit. 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. Getting a bit weak. 2, 4, pulling out of. I think I've got a. They'll move there. They'll come back out to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to completely withdraw because it should give me a really good defensive benefit. That's not a good place for a battery because let's set it up and see what happens. 2, 4. They'll just shift left a bit. They've got to shift left a bit. They're in a village, which is nice. Can I counterattack? Nope, not really in position to do so, but I can occupy some better defensive terrain. Nice improved position there. Is it time to get to the entrenchments? Well, they've got a nice stack of 8 there, I don't think it's worried. These guys, 1, 2, hey, they can make it through. 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5. I'm not going to get the armor bonus here because there's not enough infantry. So I need an infantry I need sort of a stronger infantry. These guys, for example. That's actually a hard one to do. I need 2 infantry companies to stack with this armor unit to get the armor bonus. That's a bit complicated, but that's, yeah, how it works. These guys can jump into the entrenchments there. These guys can jump out of battery. And I've got a spare company here. I'm going to move them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, using the road. Strategic movement. This company over here has been hanging around. I guess the question is, where's the 3? Oh, they've got to join their troop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coastal batteries, out of battery. It's a nice place for these guys to hang out, so they'll get out of battery. And we're done. No German combat. I've hung around here, which means I have to do a mandatory attack if I want to stick in there. It's mandatory. Where did they come from? I just don't want to. So I'll pull right out of town. Leaves this unit kind of exposed, but tough. Yeah, tough. No combat. Okay, so you can see, yeah, should be able to see the line the Germans have here. And these are these sort of established defensive positions around Cherbourg. So look, I don't know if if they're doing well. There are things that the Germans can feel good about. The slow pace of American advance through here. There are things they're really worried about, which is the rapid pace of American advance around their flanks. I think I made the right decision to pull back away from Valence. But anyway, that's the end of the German turn, because there's, again, no combat. Which brings us to the night turn on the 21st of June. Okay, night turns, so there's units really don't want to engage in combat. It's really just getting into a better position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Getting my artillery up. 1, 2, 3. Putting some pressure on the Germans. Chasing them as they withdraw. 1, 2, 3. These guys will rest and recover from disruption. And I will move the armour in. Might be time to move my artillery as well. And my headquarters. So I don't really know. Oh, okay, so I've suffered some losses. So I can. Where were my American losses? Any of these guys? They're all okay. They're okay. They're happy. They're happy. They're happy. Okay. 8, 8, 8, 8. Full strength. I think it was out here. These guys have to rest and they will replenish. This is a 90 division. Sorry, not 90 division. Yeah, 90. Where are they? Where's their headquarters? Maybe they don't have one. These are the reinforcements, of course, that came on. Yeah, no headquarters. Okay. So they don't get replacements, I guess. Should have been more careful with them. All right, 39th. They'll go this way. 1, 2. Everything's all right there. Put some pressure on, moving up the lines. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2. They're now out of battery. They've rested. I just don't want to leave the armour sitting out there like that, so I'll just pull back a bit, move them up a bit, shift them around, and then move these engineers back in the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And shift them up. Okay. So, yeah, no combat. If any unit attacks at night, they become instantly is it either demoralised or disrupted. If there's no D or D, all non-artillery are disrupted. So they get the lowercase, the dist cannon. All right, so no combat. German turn. I think they've got to pull back a little bit here around Saint-Pierre, Église. They just can't let the Americans are just going to quickly sweep around here. So we'll get the engineers to protect that coastal battery. We'll get this unit back in here. These guys will go. So they're in the open. 2, 3. Clear terrain is not good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. Pull the headquarters back. Shift them back. Shift them back. Everyone else is okay. They're now out of battery. They can get out of battery. And that, folks, is the end of the 21st of June. And again, I've got to wrap it up there because more to the point, my battery's running flat. So, again, I'm pretty fast playing Monster game. This is a small scenario, but I'm not explaining all the rules, but I feel like I'm getting the hang of it pretty quickly. The armor shift rules are initially quite complex, but you get a sense of it pretty quickly. Movement's easy. Granted, I'm not doing a lot of strategic movement. There are 2 movement classes, and Bocage is 2 for infantry or 4 for armour. Same with Woods, 2 for infantry, 5 for armour. Not many swamps around Utah Beach. There's swamps, but not much of an issue. Towns, villages are pretty easy to move through. Roads, easy to move through. They only apply for strategic movement, which is easy to do. You just can't end in an enemy zone of control or move through an enemy zone of control. Combat is basic CR2, so it's kind of like, this is 43 years old, but it feels like a really playable monster. 2,000 counters, 5 maps, like I said, a few rules quirks. Still not sure about the naval power rules, so I really haven't been using these at all. I've basically been ignoring the naval rules because if I'm applying the rules as I understand them, the fleets would be dead. And I've asked some questions on Consim World about this, if I'm playing this correctly. I mean, the naval rules really aren't long. Where is it? 18.44. This is basically the paragraph that explains how the Germans counterattack. And it's pretty straightforward. But if you apply those rules, then the Allies don't have a fleet left by the end of the first day, which is why I'm not using that naval power, because in theory they don't have a fleet. All right, folks, so I'll leave it here and pause the video. Thanks again, everyone, and as always, stay tuned. We'll see what happens. I might look at those maps again and see how I'm faring against historical progress. Yeah, I'll show that next time. Thanks all.